Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday afternoon training. My name is Dr. Charles Wana, and I'll be your presenter this afternoon. I would like to thank everyone for coming and joining me in this interesting journey, Understanding Your Body, a guide to male reproductive health. Male reproductive health is crucial to men's health and wellness. That's why I chose this topic today, so that a lot of men can understand their body. I know that lots of men tend to suffer in silence, and they don't want to share their experiences with anybody else. And so they end up suffering in silence, and so on and so forth. And at times, I find that men who have spouses, it is the spouse who sometimes tends to urge them to go for some treatment or for some checkup, some tests, and so on and so forth. So this presentation today is to enable men, to empower them to understand their bodies, and it is a guide to male reproductive health. However, medical science pays less attention to men's reproductive health than to women's, with narrow healthcare policies and little social understanding and education. In 2018, the Male Reproductive Health Initiative, MRHI, was launched to advance the research and practice of male reproductive medicine. Various factors can affect male reproductive health, including genetic conditions, hormonal imbalances, infections, injuries, and lifestyle aspects, such as diet, drug use, and exercise. When these factors interfere with the proper functioning of the male reproductive system, they can lead to infertility. I'll talk about this later on in this presentation, infertility. The World Health Organization, WHO, estimates that 15% of reproductive age couples worldwide are actually affected by infertility. Male factor infertility represents around 40% of these issues and is a significant public health issue affecting couples worldwide. There are increasing reports suggesting that global fertility in men is actually declining, and that average sperm concentration has diminished by as much as 50% in the last 50 years. So now we turn to next slide here, and I just want to inform you that I'll be using traditional Chinese medicine in this presentation a lot. So you hear a few terms that are actually borrowed from the traditional Chinese medicine. In this slide, you can see kidney, the kidney meridian. The kidney in traditional Chinese medicine actually doesn't only mean the two organs that filter the blood. It has a much broader meaning. Kidney or kidney meridian covers the entire urinary system, the reproductive system, and part of the endocrine system. So kidney deficiency in traditional Chinese medicine is a very common condition that most of the men could have sometime in their lives. Kidney deficiency doesn't necessarily mean renal failure, which is a terminal disease of the kidney. So in this presentation, you hear me talk a lot about kidneys. This is in relationship to traditional Chinese medicine. As you can see on this slide, the kidney meridian covers those systems: urinary system, reproductive system, and some part of the endocrine system. Because the formula design of Green World food supplement is based on traditional Chinese medicine, we need to clarify these words. We have our kidney meridian, kidney deficiency, and kidney fatigue. We don't want to confuse you that we are going to talk only about the urinary system. In traditional Chinese medicine, we believe all reproductive disorders are the consequences of long-term of unchecked kidney deficiency. So that's why we are going to talk about these different parts of the kidney meridian, the kidney deficiency, and kidney fatigue. You will be able to understand at the end how we explain male reproductive health in terms of the kidney, the governing organ that governs all these, including the bone health. Okay, so here are some common male reproductive diseases that I'm going to talk about in this presentation. Kidney deficiency manifests itself with signs and symptoms of kidney fatigue. Unchecked, kidney fatigue will probably progress into male reproductive diseases, including prostate disorders, erectile dysfunction, low sperm count, and andropause. So I'm going to talk about these in details, and I'll also illustrate or recommend some of the products from Green World that one can use for these different issues. Okay, so here are some signs of kidney fatigue when your kidney is under stress, fatigue. Okay. The most common problem prevailing in young men is kidney fatigue due to economic, family, financial, and work pressure. You may often feel tired physically and psychologically. So the following signs are the early warning signs of kidney fatigue. If you have any of these, or if you know a man who have any of these, it reminds you or that person that you should strengthen your kidney. First of all, if you feel tired after a whole night's sleep, if you find it difficult in concentrating, if you have memory loss, if you feel weak and there's tenderness in your back and knees, if you have hair loss that is not normal, if you have lower libido, all these are signs of kidney fatigue. Since none of these signs actually and symptoms suggest any disease, it's very easy to ignore them until more serious health problems appear. So how do you nourish your kidney essence and some of the behaviors that result in the exhaustion of kidney essence, that result in kidney fatigue? Traditional Chinese medicine actually believes that we have essence in kidney. Part of it is inherited from our parents. If you are lucky, you get more essence of kidney than ordinary people. It's just like your parents. It's just like your parents giving much money to you. part of the essence is obtained after your digestive system transforms the food you ate into nutrients and energy. This part of essence is earned by yourself. If your digestive system is strong enough, you serve more kidney essence. If your digestive system is weak, you only get small amounts of it. It is also like how we deposit money into our bank accounts. If you save more, you can deposit more. So many living behaviors consume the kidney essence, our lifestyle. These lifestyle include poor sleep quality, staying up late frequently, eating junk food, sedentary lifestyle, drinking or smoking, etc. It's similar to somebody spending more money than they are saving. So sooner or later, they shall run out of money. If we don't supplement our kidney essence and instead spend it lavishly, then it will be exhausted someday. So likewise, the kidney essence can be supplemented through kidney nourishing diet and food supplements, as well as frequent exercises and high quality sleep. Here are some of the products that I recommend for kidney fatigue. Okay, so the first one is kidney tonifying capsule for men. This is available in the United States office, the United States market. The kidney tonifying capsule for men is the #1 choice to strengthen kidney meridians functions. The herbal ingredients in this product can actually activate the kidney meridian. In traditional Chinese medicine, the kidney is believed to be the source of vital energy, Qi, and is closely associated with reproductive health and sexual vitality. So this product, the kidney tonifying capsule, can actually supplement your Qi and essence of the kidney meridian. Also, it boosts both Shen Yin and Shen Yang. In traditional Chinese medicine, Shen Yang or kidney Yin or kidney Yang are the two complementary yet opposing forces of the kidney meridian that govern reproduction, vitality, and overall health. Shen Yin or kidney Yin actually governs your productive fluids, things like semen, vaginal moisture, hormonal imbalances such as estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, and also bone and marrow health, the brain function, and some of the spinal cord health. On the other hand, kidney Yang governs sperm production and erectile function, and also helps the body temperature and circulation of the blood, and controls adrenal function and some of the stress responses. So this product is very important. It's in the United States market. Kidney tonifying capsule restores the yin-yang balance within the kidneys, which in traditional medicine considers the root of life. The next product that I recommend for kidney fatigue is Cordyceps, which is available in both United States and Canada. Cordyceps is a well-known herb for strengthening your kidney meridian. Cordyceps enhances the mitochondrial function, helping kidneys produce more ATP, the currency of energy, cellular energy. You remember coenzyme Q10? So this is where Cordyceps come in as well. It boosts in the production of this ATP, cellular energy, for getting more energy for men. This reduces fatigue and improves the kidney's ability to filter waste. Okay. So kidney can be helped. The kidney fatigue can be helped by these concepts. Concepts improves actually the kidney function in chronic kidney disease. People who have chronic kidney disease, if they start taking concepts, they will see a big improvement in their health. I have a client who had been on dialysis, and I recommended these concepts to him. And within a few months, he started to feel a lot of energy, and his kidney disease started to improve. Kidney fatigue is often linked to oxidative damage and inflammation in the kidney. So Cordyceps contains antioxidants. You remember it has polysaccharides and cordycepin. These protect the kidney tissues and cells from free radical damage. A 2019 paper on oxidative medicine and cellular longevity showed that cordyceps actually reduces kidney inflammation. Cordyceps acts as a mild vasodilator, which enhances circulation to the renal tissues of the kidney. This can also help with low kidney perfusion when you have poor blood flow in your kidney. Meanwhile, cordyceps also helps the kidneys excrete urea, creatinine, and other waste products more efficiently. Lastly, cordyceps also helps stimulate erythropoietin, which is a hormone produced by the kidneys that plays a crucial role in the regulation and the production of red blood cells. So cordyceps stimulates the production of these red blood cells, helping with things like anemia, which is common in kidney fatigue. People with kidney disease encounter a lot of anemia, the loss of red blood cells or the low levels of these in their body. Cordyceps also regulates cortisol, reducing stress-related kidney strain. Some studies also suggest cordyceps inhibits TGF-beta1, which is a protein that actually promotes kidney fibrosis, which is a factor in chronic kidney disease progression. So from these statistics, we can see that this Greenworld product, cordyceps, is an ideal tonic for kidney fatigue. I highly recommend this product for everybody to boost the function of their kidneys. The next product that I'll talk about from Greenworld that I recommend for kidney fatigue is called Pilosantla, which is available in Canada. In traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, Pilosantla is a prized tonic that powerfully boosts immune system and the kidney health by fortifying kidney yang and essence, jing. The traditional Chinese medicine kidney system governs fundamental vitality, the growth, reproduction, and bone health. When its yang energy is deficient, it leads to coldness, fatigue, low libido, and weak bones. So many men experience this as they age. They start to feel tired. They have low libido, and their bones start to become fragile. This is the product that I recommend for this group of men. So the progression of kidney fatigue leads, can occur in any age group once the essence of kidney is exhausted. So men could develop different problems, such as in the prostate gland, penis, and testes. The consequences could be prostate disorders, erectile dysfunction, and andropause. So this is the decline of testosterone in men. They become in this phase of andropause. I'll talk about this in details as we go along. Okay. I'll talk now about one of the health issues in male reproductive health, and this is chronic prostatitis. So prostate disorders are closely related to aging. It is estimated that after 50 years, over 50% of men could suffer from certain types of prostate disorders, which include prostatitis, prostate enlargement, which is sometimes called benign prostatic hyperplasia, even prostate cancer. Now, prostatitis generally occurs in young men. If you have a young customer complaining about urgency to urinate, difficulty urinating, or painful urination and the pelvic pain, you may consider prostatitis as the infection that this young man may have or be having. If he also has fever, you advise him to go to see a doctor. Fever and chill may suggest acute infection in his reproductive system. If he doesn't have fever, very possibly he has chronic prostatitis. You may recommend ProstaCare capsule, sometimes it's called ProstaSure capsule, and blueberry juice to alleviate the infections of this chronic disorder in the prostate. Now, I'll explain a little bit about these products so that you can have a good idea why they are being recommended for this chronic prostatitis, which I see in a number of men when I do tests here in Greenwald. Now, ProstaCare capsule, which is available in the United States, has herbal ingredients which restrain growth of bacterial growth in the prostate and control any of the inflammation taking place in the prostate. Okay. Now, on the other hand, blueberry juice, which is available in the United States and Canada, this product, blueberry juice, actually is has anti-inflammatory effects. Blueberries are rich in anthocyanins, as you know, the pigments that give them their blue streak or blue color, which inhibits pro-inflammatory cytokines and reduces prostate inflammation. So these anti-inflammatory compounds function similarly to some non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like aspirin, Tylenol. But in this case, the blueberry anti-inflammatory compounds are without side effects. That's why we love this product, blueberry juice. And Greenwald has perfected some of these products with the formulas that they use, the amounts that they carry, and amounts of ingredients and dose. Also, blueberry juice has a strong antioxidant protection. Chronic prostatitis is linked to oxidative stress, which damages the prostate cells. Now, the blueberries are one of the highest antioxidant foods you ever come across, which neutralize free radicals and lower some of these oxidative stress markers. They boost glutathione levels and superoxide dismutase, SOD activity, which protects the prostate tissue. So this is how the blueberry juice works. It boosts some of these immune compounds in the body. Studies show that reduced leukocyte infiltration and swelling in the prostate tissue actually takes place after you take this blueberry, after the blueberry consumption. So that is the beauty of these two products. All right, so now I move on to one of the common problems men encounter in their prostate health. And this is benign prostatic hyperplasia, which is BPH, also called prostate gland enlargement. This is a non-cancerous increase in the size of the prostate gland that commonly affects men as they age. So their prostate starts to enlarge with age. It occurs when prostate cells multiply, causing the gland to press actually against the urethra and bladder, leading to some of these very stubborn urinary problems. If one of your customers complains about frequent urination, especially at night, and dribbling at the end of urination, and his age is over 40 years, you may consider it as the prostate enlargement issue. You may also suggest to him to take a B ultrasound examination for confirmation. They will be able to see if the prostate is starting to enlarge. In the US, we have prostate care capsule or ProstaSure capsule. We also have kidney tonifying capsule for men and cordyceps, which can be recommended for this condition, prostate enlargement. In Canada, we have pillows antler, cordyceps, and the blueberry juice, which can be recommended for this particular issue of prostate enlargement, benign prostatic hyperplasia. There are many factors contributing to this problem of benign prostatic hyperplasia or prostate enlargement. One of them is prostate inflammation, which is found to be closely linked to the progression of this condition, inflammation. Evidence actually showed that cytokines, messages secreted from the immune cells, lead to chronic prostatic inflammation and then to tissue damage continuously in wound healing, which contributes to the prostatic enlargement. So these products that I've mentioned, the prostate care capsule, the kidney tonifying capsule for men, cordyceps, pillows antler, and blueberry juice, they have anti-inflammatory properties. This could also help alleviate the cytokine storm that happens when you have this issue. Symptoms of prostate enlargement is related to kidney yang deficiency, kidney yin deficiency, and kidney qi deficiency. So symptoms such as frequent urination, especially at night, weak stream or cold limbs and low back pain, fatigue are consequences of kidney yang deficiency. So kidney yang provides warmth and energy to the bladder and reproductive system. When deficient, you start to have cold and stagnation accumulating, which causes poor circulation, fluid retention in your body, and results in swelling of the prostate. This aligns well with Western findings, Western medicine, that poor pelvic body or weak pelvic blood flow actually worsens the prostate enlargement issue. Now, symptoms such as urinary urgency or burning sensation or dark urine, dry mouth, night sweats, these are all consequences of kidney yin deficiency. Kidney yin nourishes and cools the body. Deficiency leads to dehydration, inflammation, and heat buildup in the lower burner, the pelvic region, which irritates the prostate. So this matches the Western chronic prostatic inflammation in prostate enlargement. Symptoms like dribbling urine, incomplete voiding of the bladder, pelvic heaviness, prolapse-like sensations, these are all consequences of kidney qi deficiency. And kidney qi holds organs in place and supports bladder control. So if you have weak qi, this causes your bladder to dysfunction and you end up having poor urine expulsion, mimicking the BPH the prostate enlargement obstructive symptoms. So both ProstaSure capsule and kidney tonifying capsule for men, these can boost your kidney yin, kidney yang, and kidney qi, thus alleviating signs and symptoms of this BPH. So while Pillow Santler and Cordyceps can boost the kidney yang and kidney qi, and blueberry juice also can help with kidney yin deficiency for those in Canada. Next, I'll talk about prostate cancer. As you know, or some of you may already know, this prostate cancer is the second most common male cancer after lung cancer, with highest rates in North America and Europe. Prostate Care capsule, which is available in the United States, alleviates the signs and symptoms of prostate cancer, including frequent urination, especially at night. This is nocturia. And if you have weak or interrupted urine flow, or if you have pain or burning sensation during urination, dysuria, and difficult emptying the bladder, this is urinary retention, then we recommend this product, Prostate Care capsule, available in the United States. We also have Ganadoma Plus, which is available in both the United States and Canada. This product, Ganadoma Plus, contains Ganadoma, ginseng, and cordyceps. Now, each one of these ingredients contains anti-cancer compounds. For example, we have the triterpenes and polysaccharides in Ganadoma, which triggers programmed cell death in prostate cancer cells. Then in the ginseng, we have ginsenosides. These can induce actually programmed cell death and block any cancer cell proliferation in arresting these cell cycles that take place. In cordyceps, we have cordycepin, which disrupts the RNA and DNA synthesis. This forces the cancer cells to self-destruct. Meanwhile, this cordyceps inhibits the metabolism and survival of any cancer cells, which are critical for tumor growth. So these are the products that I highly recommend if somebody has prostate cancer. They can alleviate some of the symptoms and help maybe in the healing process. Now I'll move on to another topic which afflicts many men and which maybe many men don't want to talk about. It's a very touchy, sensitive topic. This one is the one that probably has destroyed lots of marriages all over the world, this topic of erectile dysfunction. So erectile dysfunction sometimes is called impotence, is the inability to get and keep an erection firm enough for sex. So having erection problems or trouble from time to time isn't necessarily a cause for concern. If your customer has an ongoing issue, you may suggest him to have a checkup of blood pressure or blood sugar and blood lipid levels in order to rule out the root causes of insufficient blood supply. If he has any of these conditions, treat them first. Any of these conditions can actually trigger atherosclerosis in the penile blood vessels that supply the blood to the penis. And reduction of the blood flow to the penis is the one that causes problems of erectile dysfunction. Endothelial dysfunction of the blood vessels is the fundamental factor contributing to the erectile dysfunction. Men who already have blood vessel and circulation problems actually are more likely to undergo erectile issues if they sit behind a desk all day. This happens here, I know, in North America. A lot of men have blood flow issues, and now they end up sitting behind a desk in an office doing their work for 8 hours, 5 days a week. This is not good for your prostate and also for your reproductive system, if you're a man. If your customer has hypertension, high blood pressure, I would recommend him to start taking cardio power capsule or ginkgo biloba capsule. These are available in the United States market. Cardio power capsule or ginkgo biloba. This will improve or boost the blood flow in the body. Now, if somebody has type 2 diabetes, this is also another key factor leading to erectile dysfunction. Men with type 2 diabetes tend to have reduced testosterone levels, poor blood circulation, and unhealthy lipid panel. And any of these factors can contribute to the erectile dysfunction. If they have type 2 diabetes, except for prescribed medicine and healthy lifestyle, they can actually take glucoblock capsule, which is available in the United States, and balsam pear tea, which is available in both United States and Canada. This can regulate your blood sugar levels. Now, for people with high blood lipid levels, which can cause high blood pressure or hypertension, they can take super omega. They can take super omega, which is available in the United States, or omega 369 or hemp seed oil available in Canada. And they can also add on lipid care tea, which is available in both US and Canada, which can improve their lipid levels. If their blood pressure or sugar or lipid levels are controlled, you may now recommend the following products. So let me repeat this. Make sure that you help the patient who has erectile dysfunction, making sure that they take diabetes, if they have diabetes type 2, or if they have high blood pressure, hypertension, make sure that they take those products I mentioned a while ago before you recommend these other products that are specifically tailored to erectile dysfunction. So I recommend kidney tonifying capsule for men, available in the United States, cordyceps, available in both US and Canada, or Pillow Santler, available in Canada. These products are for erectile dysfunction. The kidney tonifying capsule for men actually boosts the kidney meridian, which governs the reproductive system. It also strengthens the kidney yin, the kidney yang, and the kidney qi, which are in turn strengthening or going to strengthen the fertility of man. Then there is also nitric oxide, which is critical for erections. This nitric oxide actually relaxes the blood vessels, improving blood flow to the penis. And cordyceps actually increases the endothelial nitric oxide synthase, enhancing the nitric oxide levels, which is a critical molecule for vasodilation of the blood vessels, relaxing. So it's important. Cordyceps, that's what it does. It increases, dilates the blood vessels because it boosts the nitric oxide in the body. Now, chronic stress also and adrenal fatigue can contribute to erectile dysfunction. A lot of people have stress. They're stressed from many issues, domestic problems, financial, work-related, and so on and so forth. This chronic stress and adrenal fatigue can also contribute to this issue of erectile dysfunction. Cordyceps contains adaptogenic compounds that may lower the cortisol and improve energy. So cordyceps enhances mitochondrial energy production as I said at the beginning. And this can go via adenosine and cordycepin, which reduces fatigue and improves sexual endurance. So cordyceps is one of the products that I've been recommending for erectile dysfunction, for prostate problems, prostatitis, and prostate enlargement. But it is a product that you hear in this presentation over and over. Cordyceps is a powerful product. Now, in both traditional Chinese medicine and modern supplement context, Pilosantla comes in. It's also a star in this male health. Pilosantla is a highly regarded remedy for erectile dysfunction, primarily by addressing underlying causes rather than acting as a direct stimulant. People start using the blue pill, Viagra, that is direct stimulant. This Pilosantla addresses the underlying causes, the root cause of the problems. That's why it's highly recommended in this regard in Green World, the root cause. From a traditional Chinese medicine perspective, erectile dysfunction is often linked to a deficiency of kidney yang, the warming, energizing force that governs sexual vitality and function. So Pilosantla, being a warm and tonifying substance, is believed to powerfully replenish kidney yang and jing essence, thereby strengthening the body's core energy, which improves actually the blood circulation and enhances libido to overcome impotence rooted in weakness or fatigue. So modern research suggests that this traditional use may be supported by the velvet antler's rich content of growth factors, amino acids, and minerals like zinc, which can contribute to improved vascular health and supports health testosterone levels and even reduce inflammation, all of which are critical factors for achieving and maintaining a firm erection. So long-term consumption of kidney tonifying capsule for men, cordyceps, and or Pilosantla may help with erectile dysfunction. Now, how do we prevent erectile dysfunction? Many factors may have negative impacts on erection. What are familiar to us are alcohol drinking, cigarette smoking, sedentary lifestyle, and poor diet. So recently, we started to know that sitting also for long extended periods of time is another culprit of prostate disorders and erectile dysfunction. So if you can avoid those habits or behaviors, you will prevent erectile dysfunction in the long run. Prolonged sitting is one of the most common signs of sedentary behavior. Lots of people now sit for extended periods of time, scrolling on their mobile phones or laptops and so on. This prolonged sitting actually favors obesity, which in turn breeds many healthy conditions for men, like these ones, erectile dysfunction. A sedentary lifestyle is typically associated with lower free testosterone. More sedentary time is associated with obesity, posing severe health risks and reducing actually testosterone levels. Men with insulin resistance and diabetes have even a greater risk of erectile dysfunction. So now, you men who are in the house, you now know what to do. Move more. Don't spend your time sitting down, many hours sitting down. Try to move around. You can stand up every 30 to 60 minutes or set a timer, or use a smartwatch reminder, or walk 5 minutes every hour, even around your home or office. Take a phone call while standing or pacing. If possible, you can use a standing desk or improvise with a high table while working. To sum up, in order to counteract the harms caused by sedentariness, your goal is to keep at least 2 to 5 minutes of movement per hour. This will go a long way in preventing this issue of erectile dysfunction. I move to another well misunderstood topic, the low sperm count. Sometimes you may come across a customer who is having trouble getting his partner pregnant. After the doctors give a semen analysis test, a common problem may be revealed. This is the low sperm count. Sperm counts among men in Asia, Africa, and South and Central America, especially Africa, have declined over the last 5 decades, and a similar trend earlier spotted in North America, Europe, and Australia has accelerated even further. The analysis published in the journal Human Reproductive Update includes data from 53 countries and focused on sperm count trends among men in regions not reviewed earlier or previously. Overall, we are witnessing a significant worldwide decline in sperm counts of over 50% in the past 46 years, a decline that has accelerated in recent years, according to a report by researchers of the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. These same causes of erectile dysfunction also apply to low sperm count. If a man has fewer than 15 million sperm per milliliter of semen, this is considered to have or to be low sperm count. Now, I will recommend some of the products that we have here, we carry here in Green World. The production of sperm is a complex process and requires functioning of the testicles, as well as the hypothalamus and pituitary glands, these organs in your brain that produce hormones that actually trigger sperm production. Among multiple factors causing low sperm count, such as unhealthy lifestyle, genetic factors, and physical abnormalities, hormonal imbalances is the one factor that can be improved by the Green World food supplement. There is a product classically for improving sperm count. This is zinc, which is available in the United States and Canada. Men's prostate glands actually secrete a milky fluid rich in zinc and acid phosphatase. Zinc and fibrinolysin from the prostate, they get the sperm moving. So the little swimmers, the sperms, could wiggle their way towards the fallopian tube to get the egg fertilized. Now, a 2016 meta-analysis showed that men who were infertile had significantly lower levels of zinc. Subsequent reviews of similar studies showed a correlation between zinc level in the diet and zinc levels in the sperm. So the seminal fluid does more than just activate the sperm. However, zinc acts as an anti-inflammatory and antioxidant, helping these swimmers, the sperms, survive the journey, the long journey until they can reach the egg. Zinc for men is vital for the gonads from an early age. So too little in childhood delays sexual development and affects testosterone levels, can also affect prostate gland function and sperm production. So it is not hard to get the conclusion here that supplementing zinc citrate from Green World actually helps with fertility in men. I now turn gears and talk about another issue of men that are getting there in age, and this is andropause. With aging, men also experience the decline of sex hormones, just like women. I'm sure lots of men don't know about this. We all, as men, experience some of the decline in our sexual hormones. They also develop symptoms resulting from a decrease in the male hormone testosterone. So as we age, men, we also experience these symptoms due to decline levels of testosterone. This condition is referred to as andropause. It affects up to 30% of men in their 50s and becomes more prevalent with age. Men's testosterone levels start declining in their 30s, actually. Since then, or after that, for each decade of life, the prevalence of testosterone deficiency increases by 17%. So that's a high number. So apart from aging, an increase of body mass index of 4 to 5 is also associated with an increasing prevalence of 17% every decade. So men's andropause in comparison to women's menopause has a vague onset. The symptoms of declining testosterone levels can vary significantly from one person to the next. While each individual may experience them differently, the most common symptoms of andropause include the following. Men who are having andropause, they have these symptoms. Sometimes they have decreased motivation and mood. They have decreased mental sharpness and acuity. They have low energy. Even they start to lose muscle strength and muscle mass. And they have mild to moderate erectile dysfunction. So these are some of the symptoms of andropause. Most of the men know this. They know themselves. The next slide here now depicts the products that I highly recommend for andropause. In Western medicine, andropause, if it becomes serious, if a man experiences these symptoms and becomes serious, the Western medicine will treat this man or men with hormonal replacement therapy. In Green World, we have alternatives, products that can be recommended to men with andropause, include the following: cordyceps. Cordyceps, again, that's a star in this health, which is available in both US and Canada. We also have kidney tonifying capsule for men, which is available in the United States, and Pilosantla, which is available in Canada. These three products are all kidney boosters. Remember at the beginning, I talked about the kidney meridian, and so on. That's in traditional Chinese medicine. It's not about the two organs that filter blood. Kidney goes even further in traditional Chinese medicine. It governs bones, it governs reproductive system, and so on. Okay, so these products I've just mentioned are all kidney boosters for men. Added on that, as you can see on this slide, is the pine pollen tea, which is available in both US and Canada. The pine pollen tea also helps with andropause, as pine pollen is the sperm of the pine trees. It's often referred to as a nutritional powerhouse and is touted as top source of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and amino acids. Analysis of pine pollen has shown the phytoandrogens in this natural herb. Tea is also a natural androgen. They are a group of phytosterols, plant hormones that mimic the male sex androgenic hormones, including androstenedione, androstenedione, and also testosterone. This could actually compensate the decreases of testosterone levels in men with andropause. So this tea, pine pollen tea, is a big booster for men who are experiencing andropause. Additionally, pine pollen is also an adaptogen. It contains several adaptogenic phytosterols, including gibberellins and brassinosteroids, which may actually exert some normalizing adaptogenic effect, which can restore low levels of testosterone in a man. So this pine pollen tea is powerful, it's a powerhouse. Balanced testosterone levels could also lead to a positive feeling of well-being, uplifting of the mood, and stimulated sense of willpower, and even promoted enthusiasm for life. So taking this cup of pine pollen every day will trigger feelings of well-being in men. This is because pine pollen contains a type of substance named as phenylalanine, which is the precursor for levodopa. And as a result, it also can help to stimulate dopamine levels in the brain, a happy hormone in the human brain. So you start to feel happy and enthusiastic for life. So this is what happens. This tea may be simple. Most people, most men may not know about it. But for those of us who know about it, we know what it does to the body for men. So pine pollen contains a broad spectrum of nutrients, such as protein, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, trace elements, and other effective compositions. It also contains antioxidants like glutathione and SOD. Glutathione is capable of preventing damage to important cellular components caused by reactive oxygen species such as free radicals, peroxide, lipid peroxides, and heavy metals. So this glutathione is a necessary agent for the metabolism of certain vitamins and minerals, such as iron, vitamin C, vitamin E, and is involved in amino acid transportation. It also inhibits cancerous growth, neutralizes free radicals, and is vital for DNA synthesis and production. So in addition, this glutathione also works as a liver detoxifying agent because the enzyme itself and glutathione S transferase that it contains is a very powerful combination. So before I end this presentation, I would like to add on that men also have problems of osteoporosis after 60 years. At this age, if you only give them calcium, you may find it doesn't help them that much. So men after 60, if you give them only calcium, it may not be of much benefit. Why? Because in the older men, kidney function naturally declines with age, which affects mineral balance. The kidneys are no longer able to regulate these minerals in the body, and also the detoxification and bone health starts to suffer. So before taking calcium supplements and try to optimize the man's kidney health first, it is essential to avoid serious risks. So optimize the kidney health. With age, kidneys lose efficiency in filtering excess calcium, and poor kidney function leads to calcium accumulating in the blood, which is a hypercalcemia. Consequently, if you have lots of calcium accumulating in the blood due to the kidney not functioning properly as you age, this has consequences. It increases the risks of arterial calcification, the hardening of the arteries, which is a heart disease risk. So kidney stones can also start forming. These are calcium oxalates deposits. Also, the muscles start to weaken and confusion may arise, which is in severe cases. So here in Greenwald, we highly recommend that man start consuming kidney tonifying for men from middle age to avoid all these risks. On the other hand, kidney can convert vitamin D into its most active form, calcitriol, which regulates actually calcium absorption, so that weak kidneys mean low active vitamin D and poor calcium absorption. So make sure that you boost your kidneys so that they can convert vitamin D in their active or its active form. Vitamin K2, as we heard many weeks ago on one of our trainings by Professor Zina Wu from China, she talked about vitamin K2. Now, vitamin K2 guides the calcium to the bone matrix, where calcium actually needs to deposit on the scaffold, on the collagen scaffold of the bone matrix. So with a complete bone strengthening formula, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, vitamin D, and vitamin K2, you are going to have very healthy bone matrix if you follow this. So in addition to all these products, I would also recommend Osteopower, which is available in the US, which is a good product which helps men improve their skeletal muscular health. In Canada, we have liquid calcium, which has magnesium and vitamin D3 included with similar benefits. So this is the last of the products for bone health for men and their health. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to end here with this presentation of man's health. I hope that you have picked up a few things here and there, and that this information has been useful for you as a man, and even for ladies that have been listening. They can help their uncles and husbands and brothers to overcome some of the reproductive health issues that they may have. So help your families to have happier lives. So thank you very much. That's the end of the presentation.